Roemke with Ninja Training TV. I just got back from Japan, fresh off the plane, still a little jet lagged, but I wanted to go over some of the current things that Hatsumi Sensei is teaching in his class. It was really cool. He talked about Muto Dori this year, and this theme is what my understanding of it was before was sword evasion techniques and evasion techniques. But what he was talking about was actually leaving yourself vulnerable so that your opponent thinks that they can get you. So there's let's go off of a simple punch. He was teaching this one. From here, if I back up really far, he's just going to come in and take his next step and keep coming forward with his punches. If I zigzag out of the way and my face is almost to where he can get me, and he thinks I'm right here, and then that next punch is coming in, but I can take his arm off at a different angle for a second. This little pass technique, it's an interesting thing because it looks like he can get me and he's committed to that, but I can get out of there because of the distance that I was at and the angle that I was at. And so this is a really interesting thing to just take this step off here, and that second punch is almost ready. Maybe I'll jam it in a different way and then take the person down. So Muto Dori can mean a lot of different things, and what I saw while I was there, this is just my take on it, was 3 different distances. So the first distance that Hatsumi Sensei was showing in his class off the punch was a longer distance. He would be out away from the person and retreating or going off to the side to get out of this angle of this attack, but he was always moving his feet. In a real fight, you're not just waiting here, you're already going to get hit. So he was actually controlling the person with space by having his feet already in motion. So the person goes to throw the punch, he was already moving. I'm on the outside, I could return a punch from here as well. That was the longer distance where I'm floating out away from this, and maybe the second punch comes in, maybe I float away again, and this is what boxers do sometimes as well. So as the second one comes in, he would come here and then put his forearm up for a check after he was passing a punch and coming away from it. Now I've got a touch in a different place, so if he goes to step, I'm actually pushing a little bit against his weight and his balance is off. So now he has to kind of readjust to do some type of move, and that's where we can get a light up, give him a little atemi in there. So we're going long distance to mid distance, with a headbutt, with leg take. He was going on different angles with everything with this. It was just amazing what he was doing with Muto Dori. And then the last distance was stepping off and already being in close and doing a take on the person in a lot of different ways. So you've seen Conor McGregor do this one where he's coming off and already heading in with a punch. It was the same thing that Hatsumi Sensei was talking about, but it was different types of angles, and he wasn't using as much power. He was using like these examples of pivot points and being in ranges where he didn't have to do that much. And so this is a concept that was really redefined for me while I was in Japan. And I hope this explains a little bit about what's going on with the current knowledge. One of the basics, if you were going to train with this at home, is try and have the person punch at you and fall away far, have your hands up and be ready. And then have them do 2 punches, so that you're not always just training on a single punch, because in reality, I've got to be moving with this. And then see what you can do with your hands. Instead of using one hand, use 2 hands where you're batting down, use 1 hand to start to control it. The 1-2-1 is here's 2 hands, and then using a single hand out there where I'm leaving it and then redirecting. It gives you another advantage where I can be grabbing a weapon or something like that. So keep training. This is Mark Roemke with Ninja Training TV. I hope this helped you out with a little bit of what's really currently happening in Japan. For our basic set and all of our other really good videos, follow the link up here in the corner, and we'll see you on the next one. Keep training. Have fun.